Hello, Wildly of Wildly Tarot here, and this is your Moonday message for the week beginning June 21st, 2021. Happy solstice to you all, and happy entering Cancer season. So we're in this beautiful space where the sun is reaching his most glorious time of the year, and we're entering into this moon-based astrological sign of Cancer. So I really appreciate and enjoy the solstices and the equinoxes because they all offer this transitional space where polarities meet and we get to feel what it feels like to simply be with it all, where we get to get more comfortable with the nuance that is life rather than being so attached to things being the way that we would prefer them to be. And I was drawn to two decks this week. I am using the beautiful Threads of Fate as well as the Sacred Path deck by Jamie Sams. And what came through is a message for all of us this week that we're being called forward. We're being called forward and asked to step into our power and our truth, not only this week, but moving forward as a collective. We have here first the Pillar. I get this card all the time. It is all about trusting the foundations that we've already put in place in our lives, in our mind, body, heart, and soul, and trusting that we develop the capacity to hold whatever it is that we're growing and manifesting in our lives. We develop that as we grow and manifest. There's this idea in our culture, in our society, called perfectionism, and we can't possibly create that project, do that thing, start a business, have a family, whatever the thing is that we're being called to. There is this underlying message that says, well, not yet. I'm not ready yet. I don't have the skills yet. I don't have the money yet. I don't have the whatever. Fill in the blank for yourself wherever your scarcity mentality lives. And therefore, we prevent ourselves from stepping into our whole, juicy, creative, expansive space. The space that we as unique frequencies are placed here on this planet to inhabit. We are here to grow. We're here to exponentially expand our borders and learn to hold nuance and to be our yummiest, juiciest selves. And it's challenging when we have been raised in a culture that really attempts to keep us small and quiet so that we will simply be consumers rather than actually crafting and living our lives from a place of power. And so the Pillar has come forward for us here on Solstice for this week, but also I'm sensing this for the remainder of this year and perhaps even the remainder of our lifetimes. Can we be invited in to our sovereignty? Can we be invited in to our own trust and power in ourselves and know that even if we don't know the skill yet to make whatever we're dreaming a possibility, we have the potential and the capacity to learn as we go. And that if we make mistakes, that is simply part of the learning process. The Pillar offers me the medicine that we can trust the foundation of our own soul to show us the way, even if we get lost a few times along the path. And often, I don't know about you, but for myself, it's those times when I've made a mistake or I've done something wrong or that I shouldn't have done. Those times actually hold the most wisdom and knowledge for me in my journey. I've learned so much more from the times that others might deem a failure than I have learned from all of my successes combined. You know, there are many, many ways in which human beings can learn how to master something. And sometimes doing it wrong is the way to go. And that shouldn't stop us from taking the time to try. So we have the pillar, and it's combined here with Whirling Rainbow, which is unity or wholeness activated. And so the sensation that I'm receiving from this card is that as we step into our sovereignty, we step into our power, we are going to become magnetized. We're going to become electric as we begin to bring those polarities closer within ourselves through our daily choices, through retraining our brain, through really looking at and embodying only the belief systems that are true and accurate for our soul. We begin to magnetize and call in those who are in the same vibration as ourselves, in the same frequency, in the same mindset, those who have the same values, those who have the same belief. We're calling in our people. You can use whatever language you want, calling in your tribe, calling in your group, calling in your soul friends, your soul mates. We are in a space, in time and space, where if we get really clear on who we are, the paths open up to bring these people to us. And this is really an important time to do so. Right now, it is very, very important that we begin to make these soul level connections, that we find the people who are on the same wavelength and the same thought waves as we are, because we need to build community. We need to build communities within communities. We need to build communities within countries. We need to build communities across the globe of people who are in the same wavelength, because we are still in that precious womb time where we are collectively dreaming the dream. We are still calling forward what the future is going to bring. And it can be very, very exhausting to try and hold that for a very long time. We need to lean upon one another. We need to bolster one another, remind one another that life is actually beautiful and precious and worth living, and that fear is not our base human instinct. It is simply one piece of our instinctual being. Our birthright is actually relaxation and being in the instinctual body so that when something of danger appears, we can respond. But it is not our birthright to remain in a trauma response and in a pattern of resistance to life and to what is. And this is what we've all been collectively in for the last almost year and a half. It is incredibly important that we begin to call our people together, that we begin to remember community, to remember that there is no enemy, that we are all just human beings doing the very best we can, and that life is precious and not something to be constantly afraid of. That feels like the message for this week, my friends. I hope that it serves you well. I hope that you have everything that you need. If you have tried to book a session with me, I have taken a few weeks off. I have one more little trip with my family planned, but I do actually have 2 slots available for the remainder of June. If these call to you, I would be so delighted to share space with you. And my July calendar is open. So if you feel the call, if you would like some support, if you're ready to really hone in and clarify your own frequency and how you're showing up in the world, I invite you to book some time with me. I look forward to sharing space with you. Thank you so, so much. Take good care. Happy solstice, and I will see you next Moonday.